Alright guys, we got another tier list video. Today we are doing the best album that this is based off my opinion, that I have listened to throughout 2024. So 2024 I would say was a pretty good year for music. I mean, like, you had albums being dropped left, right, and center. Some good, some bad. This tier list is not meant to hate on anybody. Like, if it's trash, it's trash. You know, there is some albums I'm not even gonna put on this because I just did not like it at all. But from all of these albums, I had at least one song that I had liked, and so that's why it's here. Trash, just, it doesn't mean like it's the worst album ever. It just means it's not as good as any of the others. All right is like, I probably had like 2, 3 maybe songs on it. Good is like maybe like I'm gonna say 40% of the songs liked. The best, I probably had like almost most of the album, and then the greatest is like a 10 out of 10. No, like no skips whatsoever kind of album. Those are rare, but I'm not gonna lie, there was a couple that actually dropped this year. So we're gonna get into it. How we're gonna do it is when we're on the album, so like 11th Dimension by Ski Mask, we'll go look at all the tracks off of it. We'll see my likes off of it, because likes don't lie, and then we'll rate it. We're not gonna go straight to the greatest yet. We'll determine that from the bests. But yeah, so first up we got 11th Dimension. So this album was different. Yeah, it was a really good album. It was different, as you guys can see here. I do got a few liked on it. I'd say about like maybe half the album I have liked. Shibuya I do have liked. Don't worry, I got the like original version though. Head Rush also I do have liked. So like, it wasn't like the worst. It wasn't the worst album. After not having an album that has dropped in a while, like from Ski Mask, I feel like this was a little underwhelming, and that's something I noticed throughout this year is a lot of rappers or musicians kind of just dropped albums to clear their like waiting list. Best way to describe it. That's what it felt like for the most part. But some songs that really stick out on this album, definitely Wake Up by Ski and Juice. Yeah, Shibuya for sure. Head Rush and Go. This song was different, bro. What y'all know about Go? That shit is crazy. The Mandalorian's pretty cool too. Jump was just fun. But yeah, if I were to rate this, I mean, it wasn't like the craziest album of the year. I would say it was a good album. It was a good album. It's not like I can really hate on it. Definitely wasn't an alright album. I definitely recommend listening to this album to anybody who hasn't already listened to it. But yeah. Also, we are including, as you guys can see, this album by J. Cole. I think it's the only anniversary edition album we have on this list. I mean, like Friday Night Lights, that's just like a re-release. But this 2014 Forest Hills Drive, I believe 10-year anniversary edition, it actually just dropped. We did react to it just recently. It's one of our most recent reactions at the time. This had like, it had a lot of songs. Like, here, I'll just show y'all right now. So it had a decent amount of songs. So that's why I included it on this. It wasn't like 2, 3 songs as a deluxe. No, it was literally like, so there's disc 1 and there's a disc 2. There is 8 songs off of it, and I actually really did enjoy it. Yeah, I would say it fit the theme of the first 2014 Forest Hills Drive disc 1. But this is the newer stuff. This I consider an album. It was fire. I really did like it. Still listening to it like Winter Wonderland, Winter Wonderland. Miles, I mean, it wasn't like my favorite, but like it was cool. It was cool. Home Soon was cool, obviously cool. I would definitely recommend someone this. So I'm gonna say Is it one? I don't feel, because it is a 10-year anniversary edition. I don't feel like we could put it as the best album as like for 2024, because it is just like an anniversary like edition. Like, you can't really do that. But it was really good. I really did like it. I highly recommend it. So yeah. Next up, we got Denzel Curry, King of the Mischievous South, Volume 2. I mean, no, Volume 1. I get them mixed up. This album, super underrated. A lot of people really didn't like it. I mean, like, I have Sked already added. Like, these are like other, like, it is, they were singles before it was put onto the album. Um, but yeah, man, this was a very good album. Like, Hot One, I really fucking love. Like, this song, I be bumping. Same with Black Flag Freestyle, so fucking cool. It had like a story to it too. Like, I like how the interludes all include like the same kind of people. It was pretty cool. Sked, Wish List, of course, Hit the Floor, Hoodlums. I would say the most that stick out to me is Black Flag Freestyle, Hot One, and I'm gonna say I'm gonna say Hoodlums. I'm gonna say Hoodlums. This one was actually fire. Oh no, see, yeah, Volume 2. Okay, it is Volume 2. The Volume 1, I'm not gonna include it because it only had like 3 other songs or 4 other songs on it, so it's not like the craziest. I'm gonna consider the Volume 2 as the main one. But yeah, if I were to rate it, I would say it was a alright album. I like the vibes that we got from, like, if we're including the deluxe kind of, or like the King of the Mischievous South, like just the album, like the one that dropped after this one, I'd probably put it as good. But since we're only doing the Volume 2, I'm gonna leave it out all right. It's definitely an acquired taste. You could tell he was testing different sounds and everything with it. So, yeah, I feel like that fits it there. It's not bad whatsoever. I definitely highly recommend it if you do like that, like hard kind of rap style, and like that distorted sound almost. I'd highly recommend you to go listen to this. But it's not the worst album. It's very underrated. Even I like still listen to it, and I'm like, every once in a while I'll be like, okay, this song's actually pretty decent. So yeah. Next up, we got Trill Bill by Kodak Black. Once again, very recently we reacted to this. So I don't know what's up with Kodak Black. I know he just dropped another album. We haven't reacted to it. That's why it's not on here, as you guys can see. Gift for the Streets. I heard it's not that good. So I don't know if we're gonna react to it. We might, if people really want to see that. But this album was something. I would say definitely Dirty Revolver, Cherish the Moment, and Escalade. I would say these are the 3 that stick out to me. I don't know what's up with Kodak this year. He's definitely going for a different sound, I would say. By all means, this album was not like terrible. It wasn't terrible. I mean, like, there was some songs that were like, okay, this shouldn't have been added on here. But he's been out doing his own thing this year. I mean, lots been going on with him. So, hopefully he's doing well. But Trill Bill, I'm going to have to rate it an alright album. I might even bump King of the Mischievous South 2 up one. Because, like, Trill Bill was... I don't know how to feel about it. I'm gonna bump King of the Mischievous South up one. Just one. Because, like, I don't feel like it's on the same level as Trill Bill. I definitely feel like it's one of those underrated albums. Yeah. I find myself coming back to listen to the King of the Mischievous South. Trill Bill, not that much. Okay, next up, we got one of the most memorable albums of the year. Lyrical Lemonade's All Is Yellow. All Is Yellow was one of those albums that just had all the features we wanted. Like, there's some, like, some people I just didn't really recognize or anything like that. Like, let's see. Baby Trout, I mean, he's kind of new. Corbin was, like, kind of new to me, which he's actually kind of fire. And then there was, like, some other tracks that were, like, oh my god, this feature's gonna go crazy, but then it kind of didn't really flop. I mean, it didn't really like produce. It kind of flopped. Um, but there was some good ones. And I would say the ones that stick out to me is 100% with the Fish, Snot, and Six Dogs. This was a legendary song, and Six Dogs RP. Doomsday with Corday and Juice World. I do have this one liked. Don't worry. Um, Doomsday Part 2 was cool. And then maybe First Night. First Night was probably the most, other than with the Fish, with Snot in them, I would say First Night might be my favorite. It might be. It's so good. It is such a good song. Fly Away was cool too. I really like that. Um, this is an album that brought the Avengers at the current time on an album. Like it all combined, man. It was a really good album. I'm gonna put it as a good album because some of them did flop, in my opinion. It wasn't like they were trash though. It wasn't like that. It was kind of just like, I probably wouldn't listen to it again. So yeah, but next up we got 21 Savage, American Dream. Now this album, I know a lot of people are probably gonna hate me for this one, but I did not like this album. I mean, like if we go look at it, I liked All of Me, Red Rum. I mean, you can't really go wrong with it. It got a little boring though. I'm not gonna lie. After a while, Dangerous was cool, and then I would say Red Sky and Dark Days might be my favorite two off the album, other than Red Rum. Um, but yeah, this album, it kind of flopped. It wasn't my favorite, especially from like hearing 21 Savage's past projects. I was expecting some crazy stuff, especially because I don't know if it got added to a movie or something, but there was so much hype behind it. It kind of flopped. It kind of flopped. I'm gonna give this one an alright. Like, I did have like a song or two. I had like 5 songs I liked off of it. It wasn't much. But yeah. It's one of those albums that I don't know if it's just me, but a lot of other people seem to have really liked it. I just didn't really like it. It wasn't that great. But yeah. Next up, we got Schoolboy Q, Blue Lips. Now, this one went under the radar for a lot of people. I mean, it was also a very different album. Like, if we go look at this, I had one song off of it that I liked. I might have to go re-listen to it because I have been finding myself liking more like this style recently. But this album was interesting. Very interesting. It's a lot calmer than what I was hoping for. Very calm, actually. So, just because, right now this could change, but, Blue Slides, my favorite song off of it, I'm going to give this on our first trash. It wasn't something I find myself going back to. At least American Dream and Trill Bill, I've probably gone back once just to see maybe if there's another song I'd like off of it. This one, I kind of just bumped Blue Slides, and that's really it. I haven't found myself going back to it. So I'm going to give that one our first trash. Once again, it's not calling the artist trash. Not everybody did the greatest this year. Definitely not. So, it's all good, man. It's all good. Next up, we got Almighty So. Is it 2? Now, this album, bro. What y'all know about this album? What y'all know about this album? Almighty So 2, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Almighty So 2. This album, amazing. I loved it. The songs hit. The features hit. Wasn't like there was a bad feature. Once again, I'm not a crazy big fan of Sexy Red. I just don't find myself dancing to that kind of stuff. Hell no, bro. You could never catch me. But it actually wasn't a bad song either. I feel like the songs that stick out the most, Banded Up, Tony Montana Flow, and probably Treat Myself. I'm not gonna lie. Bitch, I wake up in the morning, brush my teeth, and treat myself. Yeah, that shit go crazy, bro. This was a W album. Fucking Chief Keef did his thing this year, and it went very under the radar. This album, I'd put as good. I'd put as good. It hit, and it had its vibes, and it also had its like pump shit. Really liked it. Highly recommend. But yeah. Next up, we got Chromacopia. Now, this album was something. This album was an experience. As you guys can see here, very good album. Had more than half the songs liked. Songs that stick out. 100% Darling Eye. That hit. Also, like, Sticky. I mean, like, shit, bro. That shit. I ain't gonna lie. I did turn up to that. I guess I did turn up to a Sexy Red song. She doesn't make bad music. Don't get me wrong. It's just like, you know, it's kind of cringe for a guy to be like, you know, bumping that shit. Just in my opinion. But ain't nothing wrong with it at the end of the day. And then also, what other song? Maybe Noid. Noid was like kind of controversial almost. This album, amazing. Dropped out of the blue. Didn't really have a build up. This album, one of the best by far. It was an amazing album. Will not complain about that whatsoever. He did his thing. The visuals were amazing. The sound was amazing. The production, oh my god. The vibes, the aggression, the storytelling. Yeah, it's an amazing album. Really did like it. Next up, we got another album that went under the radar. Ferg's Daryl album. Now, oh, there we go. Now, this album I did listen to. I actually had a lot of likes, actually, now looking at it. If I'm being honest, I don't really find myself coming back and listening to a lot of these songs. Like, I'll come back and listen to Thought I Was Dead, Demons, and Casting Spells every once in a while. But the others I kind of don't find myself coming back to listen to. I'm not going to be completely biased just because I see a bunch of likes here. I'm not going to be completely biased by that. It was a really good album, though. Of course, it was only 12 songs. So it's not like it had much competition with any other songs. But it was a really decent album. Went under the radar. I'd recommend it to a friend, man. I'd put it as good. You know, like, it's a pretty good album. Will not complain about that. Now, do you guys want me to, like, put them in order? I think we'll put them in order. So, Almighty So, yeah. This one I'm going to put here. This one I'm going to put here. This one I'm probably going to put there. Yeah, I'm going to do this. And yeah, so that's the order at the current moment. I'll make sure I put them in order. But yeah, Daryl was a pretty good album. Highly recommend. Went under the radar. Next up, we got another Kodak Black album. This is Deuce and Octave. This album also very interesting. Once again, he was like on a interesting style this year. Very short album, 8 songs. Still consider it an album because like 8 songs definitely is an album. 6 songs I would say is just barely an album. I know for a lot of you Scarlord fans, you guys are like, what about all the Scarlord albums? They were EPs. They weren't albums. They're considered EPs or little mixtapes, yada, yada, yada. 6 songs I feel like is not really enough to be considered an album. But like anything past 6 songs, definitely considered an album. This album, I would say like the songs that stick out for me is Never See Me, Catch Fire, and Harlem Nights. Those are the songs that really stick out. It wasn't like a crazy album, I'm not gonna lie. I think I'm gonna put this one on alright as well. I think I like Trill Bill a little bit more. But it was still a cool album at the end of the day, you know? It's still cool. Wasn't trash, I would say. Like, I did have some like songs off of it. I still bumped some of the songs. But like, yeah, it's not the craziest album. But we got another crazy album coming up. Dirty Nachos. Oops, did I spell it? There we go. Dirty Nachos, man. This album, I don't even know much people that really came and listened to this. But it had classics and bangers after bangers, alright? First things first, you got 2 times Dirty Nachos. Doja was aight. Some of the other ones were pretty alright. Um, they also had like Harley Quinn, Bang Bang, Love Don't Live Here. Like it's such a good charged up. I would say the songs that stick out the most definitely Dirty Nachos, Bang Bang, of course, and Harley Quinn. Like those have been out. Bang Bang and Harley Quinn have been out for years, man, and just are classics already. This album is a heavy hitting album, very heavy hitting. Like if you are looking to blow your speakers out and bump some crazy shit and like be on demon timing, this is a great album for that. I love it. Um, so like I do have Harley Quinn liked. Some of the other ones I probably should come back and listen to this album because like first listen I was like not really like into some of these songs. But I don't know, bro. Chief Keef's been on his shit. This was an alright album. Really did like it. It's a banger album. But just going off the likes, I'm gonna put it at a good album. Yeah, a good album. Like the songs just hit. They just hit after they were bangers. They just hit. So I'm gonna put it at a good album. But yeah, I don't think I could put it at alright comfortably. That's the thing. Like my instinct can't put it at alright. It has to be like good. If there was a section between these two, 100% it would go in between. But it's a good album. It's not alright. Next up, we got Eternal Take Two. So this album, huh? I mean, it was a little like weird. It wasn't like every song I'm still bumping, you know what I mean? Where like Eternal Take One had songs that I still bump to this day because they are just so good. Um, but like, oh, Space High's on here. Okay, bet, bet, bet. But yeah, it was an interesting vibe. I mean, like it was cool. It was really cool. It dropped at a pretty good time too for music. Um, I mean, I feel like he didn't really deliver with after leaving us hanging for how long he did. He didn't really deliver that much. Once again, this is one of those albums I feel like they just dropped the album and was like, there you guys go. Now stop saying I don't give you guys anything. Even though it's been like 2 years since they dropped like an absolute banger. Um, but this album, I mean, like Light Year Practice, Mr. Chow's cool. Chill Bay W song, this is probably my favorite off the album. And Perky Sticks, like, those are the songs that stick out the most for me. But it was only a 16 song album. I'm gonna give this one, and it was good. It was a good album. It wasn't anything I'm like when I think of EA2, I mean, or 2024, I'm not gonna think of EA2. It's just one of those albums that's there. Is it better than Dirty Nachos? I think so. Might be better than Daryl, but I don't think it's better than All Is Yellow. So I'm gonna put it there. Um, but yeah, next up we got probably the most controversial albums and most talked about albums of the year. Eminem's The Death of Slim Shady. Now, this album was expected to make history. Um, but personally, me, and from what I heard from a lot of people, it's one of those albums that, like, I don't know. I feel like he tried doing too much. Like, he tried incorporating Marshall Mathers with Slim Shady, which two completely different styles. I love Music to Be Murdered By. His old stuff are cool too. Like he has some bangers there and there. But like, I don't know, man. I think the songs that stick out the most to me, of course, Houdini, Fuel, and maybe Renaissance. Actually, no. Temporary. Temporary is like Mockingbird too. I swear to God, hear me out, bro. That shit's fire. But the others, I just. It just didn't hit. Like it felt like he was doing too much. And there's that one song where he was just like just saying fuck deaf people and all that. Like it just felt like he was trying to do too much, trying to like put on that Slim Shady, mindset. But like I don't think he really went like that overboard with it ever. So I don't know. it was still a cool album, but like when I think of 2024, I'm not gonna really think about this album too much. I'm gonna put it as all right. It's definitely better than all these other ones, like boom for sure. But like yeah, once again, it's one of those albums that I put between good and all right. Next up, we got Friday Night Lights by J. Cole. This album is a re-release, from what I understood, of a very old album from J. Cole. Um, it was a really good album. If I'm being completely honest, man, all the J. Cole albums were really good. Like, I don't think I could put any of them at all right. They definitely are going to be good. Um, Friday Night Lights, like, look, every single song. No, no, my bad, my bad, my bad. Don't take it with a grain of salt. This is all no impact playlist. But I was like, holy fuck, I got every song liked. But no, this actually had a lot of good songs, like The Autograph, SeaWorld, Home for the Holidays, yeah, Friday Night Lights, Back to the Topic, Before I'm Gone, Enchanted, Blow Up, man. Like, it was a really good album. Farewell's really good too. Oh my god. No, but farewell, farewell. Like, that shit's fire. Um, yeah, this is a re-release. We are including re-releases. Like, you guys will see the Lil Peep album. Um, this album, I would say, was really good. I would say The Autograph, Farewell, and probably SeaWorld stick out the most for me. It was a really good album. If you like that J. Cole, like, champion music kind of style, like No Role Models, this is the album for you. Really good album. I think I have to put it in good, and I would probably put it. I'd probably put it. I'll put it there. I'll put it there. That's where my gut is telling me. It's a really good album. Really did like it. W, man. Next up, we got Mixtape Pluto. Now, Mixtape Pluto was another album that kind of just felt like they were just trying to clear their name, clear their debt, almost. I would say the songs that stick out the most to me: Ocean, Oath, Lost My Dog, Lil Demon for sure. Those are the songs that stick out the most for me. But yeah, I was expecting like some trap house shit. Like, you guys see the cover art, I was like, oh, this is gonna be hitting, bro. Like, it's a pretty simple cover art, but it looks menacing. And I don't know, man. It just didn't really hit. I'm gonna put this one as alright. Yeah, better than American Dream. Yeah, it's alright. I can't really like put it any higher than alright. Nor do I think I listen to it more than this, but not more than the Death of Slim Shady. Yeah, just how it is. Next up, we got We Don't Trust You. Now, this is another very controversial album, as it sparked one of the most memorable beefs in probably rap history. Where is it? There we go. Like, so, I only have two songs I liked off of it. Like, I'm just being honest. All the others I didn't really like, but like She Fried, like She a Vibe, Fried, and Like That. Those are my two favorites. Loved those songs. Type Shit. I mean, like, I'll listen to it every once in a while, so like technically it's 3 songs, but it wasn't really that good of an album. But like That and Fried, really good songs. But Like That really sparked a beef that started literally probably the most memorable rap feud of all time. Drake versus Kendrick Lamar, and then getting people involved like Rick Ross. Snoop Dogg was even mentioned a couple times. Lil Wayne, all sorts, bro. It's been crazy. And it even encouraged other rappers like Quavo and Chris Brown's beef to like really start circulating again, and them throwing shots at each other, which made absolute bangers. Like, as much as I don't like seeing the goats of rap arguing and like saying they're gonna kill each other or whatever, um It was fire. Oh yeah, Cinderella. Cinderella's a really good one too. My bad, my bad. But I don't really see myself coming back and listening to this album just like that. That's like the only one I'll come back and really listen to. I'm gonna put this as an alright album. Is it better than Mixtape Pluto? No. I think I like Mixtape Pluto more. I just like what they did. Like, when they brought Kendrick Lamar on, he really started some shit, bro. He really started some shit and was like, yeah, let's bring the demons out, bro. Let's wake the demons up. So, that was pretty cool. Next up, we got Hood Poet. Once again, another album that kind of just, like, felt more like an artist trying to clear their name, clear their depth from their lack of dropping. But yeah, it was actually not too bad of an album. There's a lot of songs that were just like, okay, I'm not really liking this. Angels in the Sky, I do got liked. Same with Distraction. But other than that, I'd say the ones that stick out the most for me is Barely Holding On, G63, and probably Dark Side. Bad Kids was cool though. I did like Bad Kids. But yeah, Hood Poet was like a very anticipated album, but dropped poorly, in my opinion. So I'm gonna put this as all right. I definitely think it's, yeah. I'm gonna put it above the Death of Slim Shady. I'm gonna say like it's one of those ones that it's like if there's a in between good and all right, I'd put it in between. It's kind of like hard to make that decision, but it wasn't like the worst album. Next up, we got I Just Have a Lot on My Shoulders. Now this went under the radar as well as, you know, NBA YoungBoy's kind of locked up, so nobody was really expecting music from him. But they dropped I Just Got a Lot on My Shoulders. It says none of them are liked for me, but I actually have a lot liked. Like, I think they just redropped the album. I don't know what happened. I saw them redrop it again, and I was like, why the hell did they do that? But I did like a lot of the songs off of it. The music videos were fire. Pretty much all the ones with music videos I did like. But I would say the ones that step out the most to me is Killer Season, Never Stopping, and Versace Shades. Those were just bangers. The second half of the album was kind of it kind of got a little dry or like boring almost, but it was a cool album. I really did like it. A lot of people really didn't like it, I guess, and said he fell off, but I really liked it. I'm gonna put this as a good album. Is it better than Dirty Nachos? No, I think it suits right there. Next up, we got another re-release. It's J. Cole. Is it the warm up? The warm up? Yeah, the warm up. So this one, like, once again, all these are just because it's in my No Impact playlist. It's No Impact. It will copyright your videos, but they don't impact, like, they won't block your video in any sort of way. So go check out my No Impact playlist on Spotify. Just search in my YouTube name and No Impact, and you should see it show up. Free to use. I have almost 1,000 songs, I think, added onto it, tested and everything, and am currently like constantly updating every time I see one get changed, updating it. So go check those out if you are a content creator. But this album was legendary. I'm really happy they're re-releasing a lot of these albums because I never got to experience these albums growing up, and getting to re-experience it like as a brand new album, and like how people would have back in the day. They probably bought maybe like CDs, but like it wasn't like too long ago. It was in like the 2000s. Don't worry, like 2010s. So you know there's still like your little phones and whatever. But yeah, this was a great album. I mean, like, songs that stick out to me, The Badness, Dead Presidents 2, and Grown Simba. Welcome was really cool too. Can I Live? World is Empty. Dollar and a Dream too. Like, it was a really good album. I found myself coming back and listening to this one in particular quite a bit. Friday Night Lights I still listen to quite a bit, but it's not like it is with this one. So I'm gonna have to put this one probably, yeah, I'm gonna put it above. It might even go up more. Now here's the question. Nah, I think it suits there. I think it suits there. I think it suits there. I like that. I like that. I like that. Okay. Yeah, I think it suits there. Not much to really say about that. If you go watch my reaction, you'll see I absolutely love the album. Next up, we got GNX by Kendrick Lamar. Now, this album dropped out of nowhere. The first song, I mean, dissed like a lot of people. Had a lot of songs that made you just want to like get up and dance and whatever. SZA did her thing on this album. 2 songs, bro, and they're both my favorite off of it. He also introduced a lot of people from like, I think it was like underrated artists from Compton or something. That was really cool. The production was amazing. Beautiful album. Dropped out of the blue. It was only 12 songs, but it definitely did not flop, nor did it seize or fail to impress, man. Songs like Whack Down Murals, Luther, and Gloria really stuck out to me. W album, really did like it. I'm gonna have to put this as one of the best albums that dropped this year. Like, every song off of it, I liked. In a way. It all has, like, their own kind of, like, situation or scenario you would listen to it in. But definitely one of the best. It's W. Now, a lot of people didn't like this next album. It's actually Kid Cudi's Insano album. A lot of people didn't like this album. Now, I'm not going to be that kind of person to be like, it was a terrible album. Because it wasn't like, you know, it wasn't terrible. Like, you had X, the X song, that was a W. It did sound a little weird, though. I feel like they definitely remixed it to make it sound more like Kid Cudi style. Newer Kid Cudi. But, like, songs like Mr. Coola and Often I Have These Dreams, and, of course, the X ones. At the Party's really cool. We're just in at the party. It was really cool. But, yeah, I'm definitely, like, not gonna put this one as a good album. I'm gonna have to put it as alright. I'm gonna put it there. It definitely is not gonna be one I'm gonna remember as in 2024. But it was cool. It was cool. Next up, we got Missionary. Now, this album, I did not expect Snoop Dogg to come out like this. Such a good album. All of them are just vibes. I definitely re-listen to this. I know I find myself re-listening to Gorgeous and Another Part of Me. And I think like Guns and Smoke kind of did flop a little bit in my opinion. But like Sticky Situation and Fire, like those songs, amazing. I find myself listening to it quite a bit. I'm going to say just because how unexpected Snoop Dogg came onto this. Like, you know, when an artist kind of gets a little older, they start running out of things to rap about and talk about and stuff like that because they've done it all and they're all of a sudden living lavish. So it's not like they can just, you know, do something that they can talk about. So usually they get ghostwriters or whatever. So they'll, their music just stops and then they also start having less to prove. Snoop Dogg felt like he came out with something to prove. I'm putting this as one of the best albums. It was amazing. Definitely a vibe. If you like old school, if you like fucking even like exotic sounding stuff, this is the album for you. It was amazing. Highly recommend. Next up, we got Pink Friday 2. Personally, I'm not a big fan of this album. I did listen to it, don't worry. I did listen to it. But, oh wait, it was released in 2023. Okay. So it originally released in 2023. Okay, bet. That's what I thought. For some reason, I saw something and they're like 2024. So I was like, okay, bet. So we're just going to ignore this. We'll just put it down there. That did not release in 2024. So we're not doing that. But yeah, once again, I was not the biggest fan of that album. It was cool though. Had a couple songs I liked off of it, but yeah. Next up, we got Joyner Lucas's, what even is it called? What even is the album called? No, there we go. Not Now I'm Busy. Yeah, I always forget it. So this album started out pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. It started out pretty good. Towards the middle, it started feeling like a little weird. Almost cringy, if I'm being honest. Like I'm Ill. Even now, I can't even really listen to it like that because it just sounds a little cringy to me. I don't know what it is, but like Broski is a heavy hitting song. I fucking love it. Put Me On's a really good song. I'm Ill. I'll still listen to it, but like it does sound a little cringy, and it kind of just sounds like, that throughout the album. Um, but yeah, other than that, I probably gotta go re-listen to this because I'm seeing a lot of features that I don't remember listening to. So maybe I'll have to go re-listen to it. But for now, I'm gonna have to put this album as, I might have to put it at trash, but above Blue Lips. I'm gonna have to put it there. Like I just don't really remember much from it because like it dropped at like the start of the year. So don't get me wrong, it might change over time, but for now we're leaving it there because I don't remember much songs from it. Next up, we got Party Next Door, P4. This album, how do I explain it? So this is a Canadian brother, of course. I'm kind of waiting for that album to drop with Drake, but like it's one of those albums that it's kind of like a freaky album. You know what I mean? I mean, like you can tell by the cover art, it's like a freaky album. It's a vibe. I don't find myself re-listening to a lot of songs except for Family. Like I love my brother, I'm in my family. You know what I mean? Like that shit fire. But other than that, I don't find myself coming back and listening to this album that much. So I'm gonna have to put this as trash and probably worse than Blue Lips because I just know my style. Like I do like calmer styles, but like that's too calm for me. Where like Blue Lips, I gotta go listen to that again for sure. But yeah. Next up we got Part One. This is a re-release from Lil Peep's stuff. Like this was one of his first albums. I'm pretty sure people were telling me. Honestly, a W album. W album. Like this is all because like it's No Impact, but like I think the only songs I don't have liked is It's Me, and I don't know if I have Wannabe and another song. Other than that, I think that's the only ones I don't actually have liked. But like songs that stick out to me, of course, you got to do Ghost Boy, of course. Um, I've been finding myself listening to Shame on You and High School. Very, very lots. Like a lot. Like an absurd amount. 5 Degrees is cool though too. Praying to the Sky is a W. The Way I See Things, yeah, yeah, yeah. W album. It was only 11 songs, but it definitely did not miss. This is part one, and I believe they were planning to drop part two, so I'll probably have to go react to that or some sort of like part two album. um, this song I definitely recommend. Oh damn, just went straight to the best. That's a sign, bro. I'm not gonna lie. But I'm gonna have to put this one. It's definitely in good. Is it better than? Yeah, I think it. I think it fits there. Cause like I think I could. Now looking at it, like I might even change 11th Dimension. But I feel like I can't disrespect Ski Mask's album like that, man. Ooh, that we really got to think because like I don't think 11th Dimension was really that good of an album. I mean, I do have a lot liked from it. We're doing that. We're doing that. That's a bold play. That is a very bold play. But I think we're going to do that. Okay. Next up. Yeah, I think we're good with that. Next up, we got P-Nith. Now, I only have like one song liked off of this. I'm not going to lie. This album, it really wasn't the album that was talked about. It was the one song called Ha Ha. As you guys see, I really like it. That was really talked about. Like, this song went fucking insane. But the other songs, like, it just isn't really my style. I'm not gonna lie. If you guys know me, I'm really into like Scarlord, which is like screamo shit. I also like hard rap, like drill shit. So like it just really wasn't that kind of album for me. But it's still a cool album. I'm probably gonna have to put it as, I'm not gonna lie, only one song. I'm gonna have to put it trash and probably worse than these ones. I'm not gonna lie. Once again, no disrespect to any of these artists. It's just, every once in a while someone's gotta have a bad album. You know what I mean? So just happens. But yeah. Next up, we got Plan A, Lil Tecca. This album was actually really good. I really wasn't expecting a good album from Tecca this year. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, like, it's been so long. Like, when was his last album actually? It's been so long since I've listened to an album. Yeah, the bonus drop. So like, I mean, like 2023, and then it was 2021. Like, when I think of Lil Tecca, I don't really think about his albums. I think about some of his songs. But this album was really good. I have number 2 and Never Last liked. So don't worry, it's more than you think. But this album was actually really good. It introduced us to like almost a new style of Lil Tecca. Almost like a lover boy kind of Tecca, which was kind of crazy to say. But I actually really did like it. 18 songs. I really did like it. Came out during like the Call of Duty Halloween event, I'm pretty sure. So that was really cool. So I got to really tune into it. I'm going to put this as a good album. I might put it... Yeah. Yeah. I feel like that's a good spot to put it. It's a really good album. Definitely recommend, if you guys haven't already, go check out that reaction or just go react to it yourself. It was a really good album. Next up, we got Post Traumatic by T Grizzly. This album was actually a really decent album. It even introduced us to kind of like a new style of T Grizzly. Like, hold on, let's go find the album. Here we go. Like that Tink song. Here we go. Ride or Die. Like, that was a really good song. Blow for Blow. I do have that, like, don't worry. Probably the best song off the album. Then it's got to be Ride or Die. And then Deposit's Crazy is a really good one too. Blueprint. Yeah, I'm going to say Blueprint. But it also gave us 2 new robberies. Suffer in Silence, Blueprint, yada, yada, yada. It's a really good album. I find myself actually listening to this album quite a bit. I'm probably going to have to put this as one of the best albums that dropped this year. Fire. Really did like it. Highly recommend. Find myself coming back and listening to it quite a bit. So yeah, I think it's safe to say that. Next up, we got another J. Cole album. Another re-release. And this is the Come Up mixtape. There we go. This album was my first reaction. I didn't know that they were actually re-releasing some of his albums. So, like, this one caught me by surprise. And I really did like it. And I pointed out, I was like, this sounds like old J. Cole. Old school J. Cole, man. It sounds like some older stuff, like, when people got something to prove and, like, they're off, like, a cheap studio microphone or something like that. That's kind of what this album sounded like. I really fucking loved it. And then people in the comments were telling me, this was a re-release, this was released, like, 10 plus years ago. It was insane, bro. I remember listening to this on the bus and yada, yada, yada. That was fire, bro. I really did like this album. Found myself listening to it a lot. Even Homecoming, I find myself listening to. But yeah, songs like Simba, School Days, and I'm going to say Dead Presidents really stick out to me. Find myself listening to this a lot. This is a legendary album I find myself listening to, and I'm going to put it as one of the best albums because even though it didn't originally drop this year, it still technically dropped on streaming platforms this year. Like mainstream stuff. So technically it did drop. And we are considering it there. So if it does end up becoming the greatest album of the year, don't be mad at that because, it technically did drop. Of course it is like out of generation, but it's a really good album. A really good fucking album, and it technically did drop this year. So, Keeping it at the best is amazing. Fucking love it. Next up, we got The Crossroads by Corday. This is one of the greatest albums. I'm going to say probably, I'm already going to put it at one of the best albums this year. This album was amazing. I loved it. The vibes. There was aggression. There was like boom bap kind of style to it. There was that like reminiscent style, like the sad stuff, like oh 06 Dreamin', and then Shia Afini. Sorry, I'm just like butchering that name. My bad. But then you had songs like Syrup Sandwiches, Saturday Mornings, Never See It, like Mad as Fuck. Like it's a really good album. Highly recommend. I found myself listening to it quite a bit. I'm gonna put that as easily one of the best albums of this year. W. It's a W. Next up, we got Juice WRLD's The Party Never Ends, which actually got changed from The Party Never Ends to The Party Never Ends 2.0 because fans were furious that this was what we got after so long, especially because, you know, there was many different versions that were made. It wasn't like this was the set version. Right? Like there's a lot of different people who combined the album, made the album how it was. But this album, so like I really did like it. Y'all can't really see, but like, cause I think that I don't know what happened, but yeah, like I don't know. I definitely did like Empty Out Your Pockets, like off this one, but I don't know why it's not showing. But almost all these songs are liked. Don't worry. But the thing is like the thing with Juice WRLD albums, you really can't compete. I mean, like Juice WRLD was so ahead of his time, and it's kind of like the same thing with the J. Cole albums being re-released. This is like them just dropping something that was from like 2018 days. You know what I mean? And like Juice being so ahead of his time, created new genres and everything like that. It's insane. I really did like this album. I feel like some of them did kind of like they just didn't sound produced properly, in my opinion. Like they were still cool. Don't get me wrong. They did their thing, but I feel like it could have just fit better. And like the original versions, I heard some of the originals. They sound better than this newer produced stuff. I am not even gonna lie, but like it definitely wasn't a terrible album. I found myself listening to it a lot. I would put it as one of the best, but like I feel like if anything, it's the best good album. Best way to say it. It's the best good album. But yeah, I definitely will not put it at the best. You guys know me. I love Juice WRLD. Like he's one of my favorite artists of all time, but I'm not going to be biased and I'm going to be straight up with y'all. Yeah, just going to be straight up. Like I'd recommend you listen to it, but also like I highly recommend if you are going to listen to Juice WRLD, either Goodbye and Good Riddance or Death Race for Love. Two most like those albums I listen to almost daily still. But like Legends Never Die was a great album that they dropped. Fighting Demons, a lot of people didn't like it. I really loved it. And then I feel like The Party Never Ends, just like even the cover art, I don't really like the cover art. I mean, like apparently they planned it and they showed pictures, but the pictures don't show like what the album was supposed to like really look like that. It didn't really look like that, so it had a lot of controversy, but it was still a cool album at the end of the day. Next up, we got Viceroy, which is arguably one of the greatest albums, if not the best album that dropped this year. This album went under the radar for a lot of people. I mean, like I have Bully liked, don't worry. Dead Man, yeah, bro. And every time you just listen to it, like it just is. Every time you listen to it, you find a new song that you really like. I find myself listening to this album damn near daily. Songs like When Life Gets Rough, Green Tea, Deceived, and Dead Man really stick out to me. They're W's. If you guys really like that old school, like laid back, almost, how do I explain it? Like picture yourself driving through Miami, you know, no clouds in the sky, sunrise going low, like retro theme almost. This is what it reminds you of. Like, and it's kind of crazy timing that this dropped because it was the Get Higher game mode in Call of Duty MW3. That's when it dropped. And so I was like playing that while listening to this. It's such a vibe, man. I'm telling you. Such a good album. I'm going to have to put this as easily one of the best albums this year. Once again, the best is just like, it's just like a category that's there. You know what I mean? It's not determining whether which one's the greatest. We'll move it up if it is the greatest. But like these are all on the same level at the current moment. Where like good, like there's some better than good, I would say, but not in like the best category that competes with these. So that's kind of like how it is, why we're doing it like this. But yeah, Viceroy, I highly recommend you. Like when I'm thinking of 2024, this is an album I'm thinking of, and it's so underrated. Like it's insane, bro. Next up, we got We Still Don't Trust You, and if I'm being honest, I still didn't really like this album. As you guys can see, I have 2 songs. Oh no, this too. Here we go. Yeah, I was like, no, I have. Oh no. Okay, no. So disc 2. Oh no, this was like a deluxe, right? Okay. All My Love. Yeah, this. All My Life, Crossed Out, Show of Hands, Beat It. I really fucking love Beat It. Nights Like This was cool. Amazing Interlude. Like, it was better than the first one, I would say. I think like that, I mean, like carries the first one by far. But this one kind of felt like, an album. Where like the first one didn't really feel that much like an album, where this one actually felt like an album and sounded good, like had songs like I find myself listening to a decent amount. So in that case, it's definitely not here. I'm definitely gonna put it above here. I'm probably gonna, yeah, I think right there is good, because like I feel like I actually might even move. I just have a lot of my shoulders up, because like, yeah, I'm gonna move it. I'm gonna move it there. So that's how it is right now. Because like I actually do listen to quite a bit of the NBA YoungBoy album, more than Eternal Take Two and Daryl and Dirty Nachos. We Still Don't Trust You. I still don't find myself listening to that. Next up, we got Vultures 2. So this Vultures series, I don't know how to feel about it. Oh no, it's Vultures 1. Okay. I forgot Vultures 1 is this one. Okay, so Vultures 1. Do I even have any songs I liked off of it? I mean, Carnival, like, that was fire. Carnival's fire. Stars, I can't remember, but I think I liked Stars too. I can't remember if I liked Vultures. But yeah, this album flopped to, like, so bad. It's insane. I definitely am putting this at trash. I'm going to put it here. Yeah. But Vultures 2, right? So, we got Vultures 1. Didn't like it at all. Vultures 2, on the other hand, felt like more of a good album. You know what I mean? A better album. I know it doesn't really show, but, like, I liked Slide, Field Trip, 530, Bomb with Miles. That's hilarious. River, Husband was cool. Sky City I really liked, and I'm pretty sure I liked My Soul. It was way better than Vultures 1, I feel like, and I feel like this felt like concert level, like stadium level kind of sound. I fucking loved it. It's definitely not the best album. I would say it's an alright album, if anything. I don't really find myself coming back and listening to a lot of the songs, but I'm still going to put it probably here. Definitely better than these ones. But yeah, it's still cool. I still listen to it. Next up, we got another J. Cole album, but the only thing about this one is that it's not a re-release or a deluxe to an album. This is an actual album that actually had a lot of controversy as well, because it was during all the time, the whole time, while the Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef was going on, he actually dropped a song at the end of it called 7 Minute Drill, which, as you guys can see, he has removed off of it, kind of like taking it back, and people were like, oh, he's pussy, but personally me, I mean, he came out and talked about it on Port Antonio. I believe it was Port Antonio. He was like, I would have lost a friend, or I wouldn't have lost a friend, I would have lost a brother, like something like that. It was really cool. But I still really like 7 Minute Drill. I still have it saved to my phone. It's a fire song. Even if it is dissing them both, don't really care. But this whole album was a W. Really liked it. Easily one of the best. I wouldn't say it's like the greatest, but it's definitely up there with all these. With all these easily. So that's 2 J. Cole albums up there, man. That is like insane. That is insane. J. Cole went crazy this year. Next up, we got Rod Wave, Last Lap. Rod Wave, Last Lap. This album, yeah, as you guys can see, 25. Like, if you guys know anything about this album, you guys probably have heard a lot of 25 from Kai Cenat. This song's beautiful. It's amazing. This whole album is really beautiful. It kind of like towards the end there, it kind of, went downhill. But it started off so good. Even throughout the album, like I only didn't like pretty much until like here, the 19th song. I only had 1, 2, 3, 4 songs I didn't like. That is insane. That is insane odds. I like probably over half the album. This is easily one of the best albums of the year. Loved it. Next up, though, also, it's so beautiful. Like, I highly recommend it. Next up, we got How the Fuck Is This a Mixtape by DaBaby. I can't even tell you the last time I listened. Actually, no, I can. So, hold on. I just want to go. So, DaBaby. Let's go see the last time I listened to a DaBaby album. I didn't listen to Kirk. It was Baby on Baby 2 and Better Than You. Those are the 2 I actually did listen to. And this was during Vanguard days. So I was like, kind of just fiending for any sort of new music. I actually did like Baby on Baby 2. But How the Fuck Is This a Mixtape dropped 2 years after that. And it did not miss at all. Like, as you guys can see here, I actually really liked the album. It was a pretty hard album. And also, like, there was some, like, Hollywood Free. Like, it was kind of freaky too. Like, it was just a vibe. It was catchy. I really did like the album. Is it one of the best albums this year? No, but I definitely think it would be here. It'd be here on the good list. It was just good, man. It was a good album. Don't worry about this Nicki Minaj one. It's not 2023. I mean, it's 2023, but it's not 2023 right now, so we're not worried about it. I kind of thought this one was 2024, but it isn't, so ignore that. But, yeah, so this is my chart. Wow, okay. Now the big question. What is the greatest album of 2024? Now, I think we start with eliminating some of them. Okay, so Rod Wave's Last Lap, I'm keeping it there. Because, like, I don't think it has, like, the greatest label to it. Post Traumatic, same thing. I think it's higher than Rod Wave's, though. I mean, it'd feel crazy if I actually did do J. Cole's The Come Up as, the greatest. So, like, I'm going to put it there. I'm going to keep Might Delete Later there, too. Viceroy is definitely going up. Like, here. Missionary, I'm going to keep it like that. That's actually a really good... Is Viceroy better than Chromacopia and GNX? I think so. I find... Throughout the whole year, alright? Just thinking about it. I listen to Viceroy more than anything. I think this is my greatest album of the year. And I feel comfortable saying that. Very comfortable with that. Like it's not even a question. Like I'd put Chromacopia up there, but like there's some bad songs off of it where Viceroy, like every song is good, a vibe. There's some literally genres, all sorts of genres, man. Um, I feel like if Scarlett actually dropped that album, he'd be like might be up there with my greatest because like the amount of songs we got from it is insane. I think this is my chart. I think this is it. I think that is a W. Are we comfortable with that? I think I'm comfortable. I'm just making sure. Making sure I don't want to move anybody. I think we're good. Yeah. Yeah. I think we're good, man. I think this is my chart. Wow, okay. So that was the best out. So I found out Viceroy is the best album of 2024. We still have like a day. Yeah, literally 1 day left of 2024. So who knows? Maybe someone will just drop the most banger album of all time. But it's going to be pretty hard to beat Viceroy. Literally the day I heard Viceroy, like if you go watch that reaction, I was vibing out the whole time. I bumped that, like all the songs to work like every day just because it's such a good album. It's a W. Once again, this is my personal tier list. If you guys want to do this tier list, just search up my name on tier maker. Should just be Mad World. Same as my YouTube. I'm gonna remove Pink Friday 2 because I did not mean to add that, I guess. Um, but yeah, man, I'm actually curious to see what some of y'all would think. If you guys do manage to do it, save it, share it to Twitter. Make sure you tag me or even like Instagram or literally anything. But yeah, this is my tier list. I'm really comfortable with this, and I'm very happy with it. This year was amazing for music. This year was great. Music was amazing this year. Although we didn't get really like much other albums, as in like a Drake album compared to like the Kendrick Lamar one, you know, like a response album almost. That would have been sick. But it was a really good year for music, and like they were redropping some absolute bangers from like old school bangers and stuff like that. That was amazing. Got to relive or re-experience some of the stuff that I wouldn't have been able to listen to back in the day. But anyways, guys, that was my 2024 tier list. I'm going to see y'all in 2025. We're probably going to do another tier list like this in 2025. Super excited for it. It's going to be a great year for gaming. From what I can understand, it's going to be amazing. But be sure to do your own tier list if you guys haven't already. Let me know your guys' thoughts on my tier list, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.